there's a racial element to this country that can't take another 4 years of Obama. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I think what added to that, too, though, is the government-run health care and all these other big moves. But I do think that is an element to it. The average
person knows. Alex, that's what I'm saying. I'm out here, and I believe in the Bilderbergs. I believe in the Bohemian Grove. I believe it all. But the problem is, I look at, and don't take this wrong, many listeners. I look at Hitler, okay, and I go, if I'm a crazy guy and I go, I hate Jews, I want them all dead. Do you blame me as much as you blame the 50,000 people that I convince to shoot Jews in the head in the middle of the street? I don't like the people that go, okay, I'll just shoot people in the head. I've run into so many people who are willing to kill other people or kill themselves, really. They don't even know they're killing themselves on behalf of the Illuminati, the CFR, these people who we look at it like they're evil. Yeah, we get they're evil, but don't help them. Don't help cut my head off and cut your head off.
No, that's a good point. You know, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has now ruled citizens can be secretly arrested. People can be tortured. They don't need warrants. And this is all for the American people, regardless of what color you are.
Right.
But just like with Hitler, he sold it with an unpopular minority first, but really it was for everybody. So these idiots that go along with this, they need to know that they're in the crosshairs as well.
They just go along. I pay my electric bill every 3-4 months. I pay it when I get a threatening letter. I just forget. This time around, somebody came to my house to cut it off, and he goes, look, you're going to give me a check, or I'm going to cut your electricity off. I go, look, man, I'm going to pay it online or whatever. He's like, look, this is my job. I'm going to cut it off. I go, what if I had somebody in here who could die without the electricity? You know what I mean? And he just did this. He just went, that's my job. I go, your job is you think that you love your family by killing my family. Like, meaning something could be happening. Nothing is, but I'm just on a dramatic level, because then I got on the phone and the woman said, well, if your kid was on a respirator, we would tell you should have thought of that before you didn't pay your bill. And I go, are you serious? My bill was $800. You think people got $800 just to pay? You think everybody's trying to scam you? Your job is to hear me beg for my life. And you go, sorry, sir. So do you think that you could go home and love your family the way you think you love them if you could kill my family?
Patrice, that's a key point you made. You're talking about the Nuremberg defense, where these tens of thousands of Nazis said, hey, I was just following orders, and the court ruled no. If you're doing something immoral or murderous or illegal, it doesn't matter if a tyrant's telling you it's okay. You just can't abdicate all of your responsibility over to, I'm just doing my job.
It doesn't sit right to me. So as I've gotten into more and more, enlightenment about a lot of these things that these people up top are doing, and I believe they're doing, the problem is, how do you communicate that? It's shocking to me if you say it to an average person that doesn't know how much they don't want to hear it, how much they don't care, how much even the look. I go, look, go to the supermarket, right? There's 10 aisles, but there's only one person working, and the rest is you're checking out yourself. Like, there's no more people doing jobs that you go, wait a minute, there's no more tellers. There's just one person taking, and
down the road, what are the jobs going to be able to have money to even buy the food?
That's what's killing me. It's like, wait a minute. If you're treating me like a robot, what they're doing is they're setting you up to get me used to dealing with robots, because you're not being a person right now. You're being they're tricking me. It's not tricking, because what they're doing is getting rid of your job, because you cost them money. So a big business, why would I pay you if you're gonna get my $800? Why do I want to pay out the $800 that I'm giving you to a person that's working? They're trying to figure out how to get rid of you, and you're just helping. Well, it's just my job. It's not going to be your job.
No, absolutely. You're hitting on the key here. We're being deindustrialized. We're being turned into biological androids, and we had better have an awakening to even salvage some of our humanity. And to do that, we've got to all come together against the eugenics. We'll be right back with Patrice Oneal. Stay with us.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Gold. If you listen to the radio, watch TV, or surf the net, you are hearing about gold. Eventually you will ask yourself, is gold right for me? The answer might surprise you. We protect ourselves and our families from many things. Do you have medical insurance? Is your home insured? Do you carry life insurance? How about financial insurance? If you own gold, then the answer is yes. If you don't own gold, the question is, why don't you have financial insurance? We put our faith in things we trust. Do you trust the dollar? Do you trust the economy? Do you trust the government? Gold has always been something you can trust. For thousands of years, people have put their faith in gold. Where will you put your faith? Now is the time to protect yourself and your family. Call Midas Resources today at 1-800-686-2237, extension 242. 1-800-686-2237, extension 242. And ask for Jim Parker. Let me help you get started today. 1-800-686-2237, extension 242.
The economy is crumbling, debt soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started SurvivalistSeeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on PrisonPlanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, a garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds, so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is SurvivalistSeeds.com.
With no end in sight for the global financial crisis, it's become very evident there is a global food shortage upon us. What if your local grocery store was suddenly closed? What if? The time to prepare yourself and your family for what if is now. This is your last chance to stock up and save with the last Mountain House sale of the year. For 1 week only, September 6th through 13th, Ready Made Resources offers GCN listeners 25% off all Mountain House case lots, plus free shipping. Go to ReadyMadeResources.com before it's too late. See the variety of quality Mountain House foods in a wide selection for every taste. Mountain House foods have a 25-year shelf life and are easy to prepare. Just add water for great tasting snacks or meals. Remember, this 25% off case lots is only through September 13th. Call 800-627-3809 and mention GCN to get 25% off per case of Mountain House foods with free shipping. That's 1-800-627-3809 or go to ReadyMadeResources.com. Sale ends September 13th.
Patrice Oneal is our guest. We do have Richard Gage with huge bombshell breaking information. They had a press conference at the National Press Club with former Senator Gravel. Key information coming up in the first 30 minutes of the third hour with Richard Gage, the head of architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. Less than 24 hours from the 9th year anniversary of the tragic attacks that have been used to butcher our liberties and freedoms and launch all these illegal wars. That is coming up. Now, Patrice, you were trying to get into eugenics before the break cut you off. You were saying that that's the ultimate level, and I agree with you, and they play us off against each other. They're dehumanizing us. They're deindustrializing us to make us dependent on the system, but the end game is forced population reduction.
It's the high. I'm laughing, right? Because as a newbie to it, I mean, I would say the last 2 or 3 years, it's shocking, man. That I think that's eugenics is the most difficult to digest out of any of it. I think the fact that there might be some people that are trying to kill human beings, I think is the hardest thing for people to believe. But as you open it, and what I like about your films is this: you don't just. It's easy to go, this guy's crazy, but you give things in your movies that say, okay, go to HR this and go to executive order that, and it's difficult to deal with HR 1000 because it's crazy. So a lot of times I got to take your word for it with that HR or the executive order stuff because it's so. It's a Bible's worth of stuff you got to read through. But that's the thing I like about watching your films is that it's brought me here. It all does come together. Well,
when we show a bill, or executive order, though, we zoom in on the subsection. I mean, here's an example. The last 3 weeks, we have written article after article with direct links to the Rockefeller Foundation. And they're just like 20-page documents. You can read them where they say we're going to develop vaccines that reduce fertility. And they even talk about, so we don't sterilize everybody because then people would notice that. Right. We just hurt a certain amount of people.
That no one cares about. Start with Africa. Easy to do. A lot of poor people, nobody cares.
Well, see, you bring up race. And I will say most libertarians, most patriots that I know, the media would call right-wing, are not racist. But they do understand that there are elements and that the Republicans have taken over the Tea Party and are basically putting out code words, but at the same time denying it. But here's another issue. The ultimate racist are the so-called liberals on the top, because when you actually read their writings 80 years ago, they said, we've got to pose as liberals so the blacks trust us. And then you see the result, let me ask you this, 51% of black people since Roe v. Wade have been killed before they're born. And then you go talk to the average black folks, they'll defend abortion like it's some liberal right. And I go, really? Liberal right to kill 51% of the black people?
Alex, this is the game. This is the problem. Okay, I'm just now looking at the Constitution. I tell you who got me looking at the Constitution was Aaron Russo. When he's like, democracy is that thing where he says two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. It changed my life. I think that's the most amazing quote I've ever heard that puts democracy in perspective.
It's Thomas Jefferson originally.
Well, that I heard from him. I give him but I'm looking at the Constitution, and for some reason, growing up black with just being black, the Constitution is poison words for black people because we feel we're not involved in it anyway. But the idea of freedom of the press and then freedom to carry arms, why it's important, and this is easy, is because it's to protect us from a dictator. It's separation of state. When Bush took over the separation of not separation of state, but separation of
church and state.
No, the powers of the
separation of powers.
Yes,
you got it.
The House of Representatives and the president
to
protect us from a dictator. And all these things are trying to be destroyed so that a dictator can come right in and take over. But black people somehow in the system of just regular government, we feel ostracized from these words. We like even the crazy, what black people call the crazy crackers in the hills that say, we gonna kill you if you come on my property. Black people automatically think those people are crazy, but those people are the revolutionaries of our time. They live how the people who freed the country from England live. They think like that. But to a black person, whatever the news thing does, it makes us think that those people are insane and out to get me. That's the game they play so that black people don't get deep into the New World Order. Because
it's another divide and conquer.
It's a divide and conquer thing.
Well, stay there. We're going to break. Long segment. Let's pick up where you left it. Patrice Oneal is our guest. PatriceOneal.com. He's going to be at the Cap City Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. hurry and get tickets because it's probably going to sell out here in Austin, Texas. You can find out where else he's going to be appearing around the country. Also at patriceoneal.com. I'm Alex Jones. The websites are infowars.com and prisonplanet.tv. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.